Did you know that LeBron James owns more cars than the average person has shoes? Well, today we'll be talking about some of the richest players in the NBA who own the most expensive cars. First up is, of course, LeBron James. When you sign contracts that are of $100 million regularly and you also have an obsession for cars, you're obviously going to have a ton of them. Now, LeBron has actually admitted that he bought so many cars during his career that he has forgotten almost how many cars he owns. Imagine being that rich. I mean, I can't even imagine that, sadly. So the first most expensive car he owns is the Ferrari F430 Spider, which is one of the earliest buys of our NBA star. In fact, this car was bought by LeBron on a TV show called The Unique Whips, and this car was totally customized by Unique Motors with LeBron's logo everywhere. And LeBron loved this car so much that he instantly bought it, and the car is currently worth around $220,000. That's a huge price tag. Next up on this list is actually another Ferrari, the Ferrari 599. Like his other Ferrari, it's a bit special because it lasted for under 10 years of production. The 6-liter V12 engine gives this car some real power. In addition, the vehicle unbelievably has a top speed of over 350 miles per hour, and it's one of the athlete's fastest cars in his entire collection. The 599 is worth well over $209,000 if maintained in the right condition. Despite being out of production for years now, it's still a loved sports car. Apart from sports cars, our star has a ton of Jeeps, one of which was LeBron's favorite. My favorite one that he has is actually the Jeep Wrangler Rubicon. This is one of the vehicles that LeBron had early in his career and he still has it today. This is a bit of a surprising pick from James, considering it's known for being one of the best vehicles ever made for off-roading. The Jeep Wrangler has been around since the late 1980s and has received all types of acclaim for its reliability and consistency. I'm just thinking, where does LeBron off-road? At one point, it was actually named one of the Jeeps with the highest resale value. Although this doesn't have the biggest price tag, it's worth around $30,000 because he's had it for a while. But hey, it's LeBron's car, so anyone's willing to pay over $100,000 for that thing. The next car on this list is the Mercedes-Benz S63 AMG. The Mercedes-Benz S63 AMG was one of LeBron's coolest luxury vehicles he purchased just a few years ago. After driving Jeeps and cool cars all his life, the Mercedes-Benz was a switch to a car with some real class. This particular vehicle is actually one of the rarer offerings from the renowned Germany company. They actually built a few of these cars as a collector's edition with a V12 engine, making it capable of driving at really fast speeds. Even the standard version of this car is very powerful, with a V8 engine that allows it to reach a top speed of 200 miles per hour very quickly. The car has the value of about $151,000 and also makes it another luxury car for LeBron. Moving on, LeBron also has a Maybach 575. Geez, how many cars does this man own? The Maybach 575 is a German masterpiece of engineering and has even been compared to vehicles produced by Mercedes-Benz and BMW. It unfortunately didn't do very well commercially in its final days, and it had to be cut short abruptly after a full decade of production. In that time, over 3,000 units were made, and it became a popular luxury car. James had a vanity license plate placed on his first Maybach 575, reading King of OH, meaning King of Ohio. This vehicle is no joke. At the time, it must have cost the athlete around $400,000. And the last car worth mentioning is obviously, drum roll please, the Lamborghini Aventador. A rich person's car collection could never be complete without a mention of at least one sports car built by the wonderful people at Lamborghini. Specifically, for many rich athletes and celebrities, the Lamborghini Aventador is their European sports car of choice. It's got everything you could think of in a sports car. It's stylish, and it's capable of driving at very fast speeds. Unlike some of James's other vehicles in his garage, this Aventador he has doesn't have an all-white exterior, because the Aventador is worth well over $3 million. Moving on to our second player after that mouthful of a list, we have Kyrie Irving. Since being drafted back in 2011, Kyrie Irving has already made a little over $15 million playing for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Also, he signed a 5-year, $90 million extension last summer. Clearly, money's not a problem for Kyrie, so it's no surprise that Uncle Drew is into cars. Now, let's take a look at some of the cars from his car collection. First up in this list is actually a Ferrari, and Kyrie has already entered the big leagues. The Ferrari he has is actually a Ferrari 458, which was a massive success in its time and has the price tag of approximately $300,000. This car, let me tell you, it has a 0 to 60 time of only 3 seconds. How fast is that? Back when Kyrie was playing for the Duke University Blue Devils, he went to a racetrack where he test drove the pictured Ferrari 458, which he later bought. The Ferrari is a very powerful machine, and it's handmade to boot. He enjoyed the test drive so much that he now wants one of his own. Above all, it's a huge addition to his collection. Next up is the Audi R8, the stock edition. This car has a horsepower of 430 and it's worth around $118,000. This car also has a 0 to 60 time of 4 seconds alone. Apart from this, who doesn't want a premium car from the ring people? Now, there's a reason that I stated that the R8 was a stock edition, because R-Star doesn't stop surprising us. Actually, Kyrie has another version of the R8, a custom white one, that is worth more than $200,000 and has many additional features, including matte white pearl wrap with custom painted gloss in the exterior, some really cool black accents with the 20th Avant-Garde bespoke wheels, and SunTech window film. Quite a mouthful. All these just add to the luxury of the car that I could barely afford. And our final NBA superstar is Devin Booker. Booker's first car is the 1910 truck. Despite being a youngster, Booker has an exquisite taste in classic beauties, which is evident from the 1972 Chevy truck in his garage. Booker modified this truck to its maximum potential, and now it is a sleek convertible with the truck bed reconstructed as the rear seating area. Powered by a large block V8 engine, this truck roared with 380 HP. Devin Booker turned his C10 into a lowrider with an all-blue color scheme outside and blue leather upholstery for seating on the inside. This truck currently has the worth of about $150,000 with this modification. And of course, you're an athlete, and why won't you own a Ferrari? And yup, our rising star is one of the best Ferraris to date, the Ferrari 488 Spider. The Ferrari owned by Devin has a very pretty color scheme, and I know this myself because I went to a Suns game and I stood outside the parking garage and I saw him drive out and he was like parked at a red light, so I could stare at him in the car for like 20 seconds. It was crazy. Apart from this Ferrari, Devin's love for classic cars never ends, and he also owns a Chevrolet Caprice Classic convertible which has large oversized gold-plated rims and many other modification that suits Devin's desire, and this also has a price tag of above $100,000. Well, that's it for today. Let us know which car of the bunch intrigued you guys the most in the comment section down below. Thanks so much for watching this video of Triple Domination, and as always, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you guys next time.